Happy Sunday, Spurs fans. GSG Nation's back for another episode. What a great weekend it is to be a Spurs fan. Spurs closing the weekend out with 2 W's back to back. What an exciting time for us right now. Lots to look forward to. Just really overall great job, great team effort. We're seeing progression from a whole team as opposed to just, certain individuals. And it was just really good to see the boys, like on top this weekend, especially with those back to backs. Today, we're going to talk about the OKC matchup, the Portland matchup, the Minnesota matchup. We're going to get into the one-on-one matchup, Wemby versus Chet, and Wemby just really showing out why he's deserving of the Rookie of the Year, and just really putting the rest of the league on notice. We were in attendance for the Box Out Cancer Night game against Portland on Friday. We're going to get into that game. We have a fan interview from a dedicated Spurs fan in section 125. So we'll be playing that later today in the episode. And then the biggest win of the season, we will be going over that. Spurs win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. What a great, exciting game that was. Incredible play from multiple players. Again, like the whole team just progressing, not just individuals. Again, really exciting to be a Spurs fan right now. So let's get into today's episode. So let's get into the OKC matchup. Chet, Wemby, one-on-one. Let's go. Well, as you can see, end of the game, final stats, and you could just witness it the whole game. Wemby's absolutely deserving of the Rookie of the Year award. We're not bashing Chet here, and that's not the goal. That's not the point of what we're trying to do. But we are trying to make the point that clearly, individually, one-on-one, Wemby is the better individual, and especially right now. And wins shouldn't matter. We shouldn't be factoring in the team's wins regarding the Rookie of the Year award. As everybody remembers, LeBron James's rookie year was not great. The team had a horrible record. He went to a bad team, and that's how they got the number one pick. Just same situation as us, and he had a bad record that first year. So and he still comes out with the Rookie of the Year, I believe. And so wins should not be a factor here, especially when you have a player that goes into an experienced team and maybe not like so experienced in the playoffs, but they're at least experienced in playing with each other. So it was a pretty well-rounded team that Chet got drafted to, and he had the opportunity too last year to at least travel with the team, get used to the traveling schedule. He was visiting other arenas, so he was just getting experience through being at these games, talking through players during the games, learning while being on the bench at these games. So he had all these opportunities that in the NBA that Wemby did not come into having. So if we're talking individual stat records, just look at the stats. It's Wemby. It's Wemby all day, and that's our Rookie of the Year. Well deserved, and he did a great job. But what I think should really be most exciting to Spurs fans regarding the OKC game was just the competitiveness that we saw from Wemby. I mean, the way he was hunting Chet down the whole game, looking for him on defense, looking for him on offensive, to get that offensive matchup, like one-on-one. Like, Wemby was just hunting Chet all game, taking it to him. And that is just something that us Spurs fans have not seen since the Big Three era. Just that focus, that competitiveness, that desire to that desire just to be great, just to show your dominance over your competition. And I just love how he's embracing the rivalry, the one-on-one rivalry between them. It's existent, and you saw it that game, and it just made the game really fun to watch. Chet didn't necessarily like back down, and but he wasn't hunting or looking for Wemby the way Wemby was looking for him. Absolutely not. I mean, you're watching that game, Chet was looking for the mismatches, trying to come off the screens, get the mismatch, and just really attacking the mismatch. It wasn't until later in the game, when Wemby was just absolutely just taking it to him. I believe it was it was off that one drive where Wemby, shoulder head first right into the chest of Chet for the dunk. Like that's when we saw Chet like okay, like kind of push back a little bit more, but it was only in that instance there. It wasn't the whole game like Wemby was. And so I really love just the competitiveness. That's what we need to be excited about. And guys, I mean, just to have a guy with that competitive fire on our team again, finally, like we have that guy. And it's hard to find. It is hard to find guys like that. Uh, but he's a Spur. He is a Spur. And so that's just a lot of things to be excited about. And even though we got blown out that game, we still, there's still a lot of positives that came through it, and just mainly the competitiveness that we know Wemby has. He's going to bring it every night. He continues to rise to the challenge each and every game, each matchup that the media highlights between him and whoever. He's rising to that challenge. The noise is not getting to his head. He's not buckling under the pressure. He likes it. He's embracing it. And that's what a superstar does. That's what a future champion does. So to have that guy, to know like, okay, no, we have the Kobe Bryant competitive mentality guy on our team. That's what champions are made of, and that's what championship teams have. They have that type of competitor, and we finally have that guy again. So just be patient, and I'm telling you, even next year, they're not, nobody's going to be able to guard him. He's already packing on size. If you see him after the games, he's lifting weights after the games, and you can already tell in Wemby's arms that he's gaining size already. So just be a little patient. Imagine how much more strength he's going to gain throughout the rest of the season, the off season, and coming into next season, that he's going to be so dominant just in year 2. So imagine in year 3 through 5, what we're going to witness, where this team's going to be, like how elevated his skill set will be, and then how he'll elevate the team itself, just to be competitors, to be better competitors, and to continue to push themselves individually, to be on his level. So just wait. The NBA is gonna be on. They're getting put on notice, and they better watch out, because Wemby and the Spurs are coming.
Throw it up. Yeah!
Okay, so moving on to the box out cancer night Portland Trailblazers game. We were in attendance at the Frost Bank Center that night. Exciting time, exciting environment. It was a late one, but well worth leaving late, especially after witnessing the dub. And really, the most important thing of that game, I mean, it was a great team effort, but really, let's talk about the man of the hour, the man of the month, whatever you want to call him. But his name is Jeremy Sochan. So let's talk about Jeremy Sochan, because darn it, he is playing great ball this past couple of games, and it has been fun to watch. And it's good that we're seeing this from him, because there's been a lot of hate on him towards the beginning of the season, and I'm just really glad that noise did not get to his head. If anything, it probably motivated him, and you could tell that he's putting in the work, and it's showing out on the court. I mean, he's helping us. He helped us win these past 2 games, and he was making great plays. And one, the move that I really want to highlight with Jeremy Sochan is that spin move, the drive to the basket spin move. Basic move, but that's his move. If he can master that move, that's it. Going forward for him, that's his go-to. And right now, it's the only thing that's stopping that is his touch. But the past two games, you can tell the touch is getting better. He's getting the touch. He's finding it. Um, but that's the only downfall about that move was just him trying to find the touch earlier on, and nobody's been able to block it. Uh, Even with hands in his face, like he's still able to get the shot off, and it's just a matter if he has a nice touch with it or not. In the past few games, he has. So if he could really master that move, he's going to be in a great place. And it'll be just a great move to master to start off. It's just a basic move, and he can do so much off of it. I mean, he's turnaround jumper scoring, turnaround up and unders, faking defenders out. Like last night, I mean, he had that nasty fake on Anthony Edwards with that spin move. So just playing smart, fundamental basketball, simple moves like that, like that's a good look on him. It's a really good look on him, and so I think it's important for him to master that, and it's something that we should look out for. And he's even on the spin move, he's finding open guys off the spin move as well. So once he nails that, defenders are gonna have to, um, you know, commit to that more defensively. They're going to have to stay on him. And if he's going to continue to hit that, more than likely when he's already in the paint, once he pulls the spin move, probably bring a double team on him in the paint, and then he can just kick it out for the open three. So, if we can keep that move down and we get shooters around us, just look out, look out. I think another thing that he's learned from the point guard experiment was you could see his court vision's been a little bit better. He's bringing the ball up more confidently. He's bringing it up faster when we're doing fast breaks, and he's bringing the ball up. He's not making as many turnovers as he was before. The passes are better. The court vision is better. You see him, just turning his head more, looking for guys. It's not just, heads down, looking, dribbling head to the floor, straight to the basket. Like, no, he's looking to make a play, and you could tell that court vision has improved. And from the point guard experiment, and two, just from continuously bringing the ball up. But it's been really good to see. He's doing an outstanding job. I mean, golly, like he's definitely got to be top two favorite Spur right now after Wemby. It's a fan favorite, that is. And it's fun stuff to watch. It's great to see him having fun on the court. Like, that's what we need. His confidence right now is at an all-time high, and that's where we need it to stay at. Because when he's confident in himself and being himself on the court, that's what we need as on the team, is for him to be confident, to be himself, because that's when he's playing his best ball. And it's fun for us to watch. Like, it brings us more entertainment too. Just the little jokes that he's doing, like humping the floor, trying to high five the opponent's bench. Like, it's stuff like that we want, because we want him to get into opponents' heads. Like, that's what really like gets teams, is getting into their heads. A lot of players like just can't handle it when you get into their heads, and he's gonna be that kind of pest. Like, in a few years, just watch. Yeah, when he's playing better basketball, and he will, because he's already getting better. So when he's playing better basketball in the near future, year 2, 3, 4, 5, like, a lot of teams, a lot of fans, a lot of players are gonna hate him. They're gonna hate playing him, just because of how much he gets into their heads. And another fun thing about Sochan is, and him being himself, is he shows it through his hair, through just the color of his hair. Whatever he dyes his hair, like, you could just tell, like, this is a fun dude. We should be happy to have him on our team, like, just to have that. So you have somebody with just competitiveness, just fire, desire to win, and then you pair him up with somebody who also wants the same things but shows it in a different way, by having fun on the court, just having fun and actually like just being themselves. that's that's what we want, like Tim was that quiet, competitive, I want to win type, and then we pair him with Manu, who I want to win, super competitive, but at the same time, like I'm gonna have fun doing it. It worked out for Tim and Manu, and I could see that working out for Wemby and Sochan. But Sochan, the verdict is out, the poll is out there, the results are in. We're ready for the new color, man. We are ready for you to dye your hair another color, and we're ready just to see what you bring. So as fans, we should be really excited from the growth that we witnessed Jeremy Sochan throughout this season. Um, just starting at a low at the beginning of the season to just right now, like sky's the limit for him, and we're seeing that again. And a lot of fans are happy for him. I know fans in attendance at the games believe in him heavily. They love to see him play. They're very supportive of him. So Jeremy, you do have fans out there, especially at the games. Everybody is just cheering for you. And I mean, you're just doing it, man. And it's good to see you improve. The free throw shooting, the field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage, like all of that has just improved from last season. And it's just really good to see your hard work paying off. Let's see what our Spurs fan in attendance on Friday's game has to say about the team.
What's up, Spurs fans? We're here at the Prospecting Center, Box Out Cancer Night, Spurs against the Trailblazers. I'm here in section 125 with dedicated Spurs fan David. David, how you feeling tonight?
Man, I'm feeling great, brother. Feeling great.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. Glad we're enjoying the game together. So what do you think of the Spurs so far this season?
It's been a learning curve, man, but I see a lot of potential there, and I'm really excited. I know Pop's going to get him going, and I just look forward to the young guys learning from an old guy.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of potential for this team. Super young, so much to learn. We're just starting, so there's really no rush for us to win a championship immediately. So what do you think of the Spurs' future, really?
I just think if they keep listening to what Pop's doing and the other coaches, we have a good shot at building a great foundation this year and then building upon it. And every year is going to get better and better and better.
Nice, man. Yeah. And what would you say the team is missing right now? Like, what pieces would you like to add to this team?
I would love to see a big man, a junkyard dog going in there, just to be there and give guidance to those kids and show them what it takes to get in there and be aggressive.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need another big that's just gonna be like banging on the boards, doing the heavy work, for women. Yeah. So I think we're missing that too, and I think that with the draft picks, I really want us to draft the guard. I think we might have our eye on somebody, and I think that's what we're holding on to a pick for sure.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think a good guard out there would be able to help distribute the ball, give the other guys some rest that are in there now, and then take us to that next level.
Yeah, I agree. And so what did you think of that Wemby-Chet matchup the other night?
I thought, once again, man, it was a great matchup. It was a great game for him to learn and feel what it's to go up against competition like that. It's a building block, right? But, I mean, I think it was just great. Wemby shows up, man, and he's just every game he gets better and better.
Yeah, I agree. He's been showing up every single game, every challenge that, the media says, hey, he's going to face this challenge in this game. Like, he's risen up to that challenge, and just the competitive fire you could see in him, like, that's something that we've been missing, right? Like, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's that spark that the team needs to keep going and become better, right? Our record doesn't show it, but our aggressiveness and how we approach the game, I think, is getting there, right? So our passion's there. It's just a matter of tweaking it.
Good, man. So, yeah, you would say, it's a learning curve, and you are seeing us learn throughout the season, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely see that. These guys are out there trying. I'm sure they're watching a lot of tape. I'm sure Pop is making them do so. And, that's the one thing you can do. Young team, all we just got to do is concentrate and keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And also, too, so what do you think of Jeremy Sochan's play this year?
I think he's one of those guys that's aggressive, man. I'm going to go on a limb here and say he might be taking an old picture out from Manu and how he's aggressive and coming off the bench and doing the right things for us to become a great positional player where he's just like, I'm here to come in and make a difference.
Yeah, so you see him being part of the Spurs' future long term?
I would love to see that, right? I hope they recognize that, and he's another building block, right? So, we got to continue to build this team, but the future looks bright.
Awesome, my man, awesome. And who would you say, besides Wemby, your favorite player on the team so far?
Wow. Yeah, I would probably have to say, it would be Sochan. I think he's the guy that we want to recognize and just kind of continue like building on that. I think he's a great guy. So
that's awesome, David. Well, thanks for joining us on GSG Nation. Before we go, can we get a Go Spurs Go?
Go Spurs Go, baby.
Let's get into the Minnesota game, which absolutely was the best win of the season. Way to go, Spurs. That was a great team win. Exciting game to watch. Damn, like the competitiveness was off the charts, and that was just great to see from our boys, like just staying in the game the full 48 minutes, being able to hold their own when we took Wemby out of the game to maintain the lead, to keep it close. That was just a great overall team effort. And that game, you could really see we weren't just watching individuals, playing. We were watching a whole team play. And you could just see like the team progressing, coming together as more as a team. They look more as a team. They're getting to know each other's spots more. Great defensive effort. You could tell that the defense was a little bit better. Our biggest problem on defense, we all know, has just been the commitment on defense, the unnecessary double teams, not knowing whether we're switching or not before the game starts. Like just the little simple things that we're just not doing or overdoing is what's been killing us on defense. But in the Minnesota game, we saw improvement there. Like guys weren't overcommitting too much, and guys were sliding over fast enough to deny ball. And that's something that we hadn't seen in a long time. We were just at all this season. We're struggling with majorly is just being able to recover defensively when we're over committing and double teaming and trapping. But it was great to see guys just really stepping up on the defensive end as a whole team. Just everybody making an effort. If they had to switch and guard Anthony Edwards one-on-one, like everybody was stepping up, just trying to beat him to his spots, trying to draw him more to defensive help, and then just guys being able to slide over to get steals off of the pass. Like there was a lot of just progression there, and overall great game. So hopefully they can continue to keep that up. Just commit, because defense really nowadays, like you have to commit as a team, and until everybody commits, all five guys, until they all commit on the defensive end, you're not going to win games. And that's like how Denver's winning a lot of all their games. Not only do they have that superstar talent and all-star talent, everybody like commits on the defensive end from 1 to 5. So, to see all of our guys commit defensively last night was really fun, and just like a proud moment as a Spurs fan, to witness. Like, dang, guys, like you really did it. We beat the number 1 team in the West. Like, just great win and great feeling. Way to end the weekend on a W. I know all us Spurs fans woke up just feeling good. The sun is out shining bright in San Antonio, so we are all happy here. Chetty did what he could defensively. When he had to match up with Karl Anthony Towns, he did a great job too, doing what he could, and just not backing down. I mean, like I think really just the most important thing, and just pointing it out, is really the importance of guys just committing defensively, and that absolutely helped us win the game. And and just the good offensive play too, of course. I want to talk a little bit about the roster and kind of what I feel like, what's missing, what we should go after, and that kind of stuff. I think that we should hold on to the draft picks. I think that we should build this team from the draft, and then once we get those missing pieces, which clearly we're in need of somebody to bring the ball up. Maybe not the traditional point guard because that traditional point guard plays. We're kind of going away from that in the NBA, but it's always good to have one in your pocket, and we do have that in Trey Jones. But I think that we're missing an all-star to bring the ball up, and somebody to create on the floor. And I think that we're also missing another big, but a big that can do all the heavy lifting, bang on the board, somebody that's just a dog, defensively, not afraid to let guys feel his presence in the paint. And that I feel like would take a lot of pressure off of Wemby, and having to focus a lot on getting rebounds and being the primary defensive player on our team. I think getting a strong big, athletic big could take that pressure off of Wemby and allow him to be allow him to fully grow offensively as well, which is what we really want to see. So I think in the draft, and probably from Europe, we could find the our ball handler, our playmaker, and then our big to pair with this team. And then once we get those guys, then I say, okay, let's look for some shooters. Let's bring in a couple of vets then, because yes, having vets on the roster is important. These guys don't have many players to learn from. Besides Doug and Chetty, but even then, like Doug hasn't really made deep runs in the playoffs, so he's not like so playoff experienced. Chetty being a little bit more playoff experienced, and I want to say, I think that we should keep Chetty. One, because he's a vet, and two, I feel like he'll find his shot once the team starts playing better. I think that's what's just affecting him right now, is just having to play with such young, inexperienced players. I think it's wearing off on him. Not, wearing off on him his shot, but not his IQ. Not when he's driving to the basket, so his aggressiveness. Like none of that has been affected by the young, inexperienced play of our young players. But I think that his shot, him not hitting as many three-pointers as he usually does, I think that's absolutely been affected from the young, inexperienced play. And I think that once we start playing better, I think then that'll wear off on him and he'll find a shot again. But I would really like to keep him on the team because, I feel like he'll find a shot. He's a veteran player. He has playoff experience. And, he's already kind of used to our team. So, there's a vet that's already used to San Antonio and the team and these players. He's already built a relationship with. So we won't have to wait for that to develop. And we wouldn't have to, go out looking for many more vets, maybe one or two more after that. But all that, we should get these vets. I guess we could get them whenever. To be honest, we don't want to get too old of vets, of course, because we do want them on the team, maybe about 3-4 years, hopefully, to, help like develop our young players at least. But I think that, let's get our ball handler, playmaker, let's get our next athletic big. And then we have Keldon, Vassell, Trey Jones, Jeremy Sochan, as the core. We have those guys around our missing pieces, and that's gonna round off our team. So Sean Elliott is right. Like the team will need vets. We do need that, but I don't think that we need to give. I don't think that we should give up much to get vets. We shouldn't be paying a king's ransom for any of these players that are going to be available, especially in this trade deadline. A lot of names being thrown out there that are just kind of unrealistic players that we could actually go after. But yeah, like Trae Young, yeah, of course, it would be nice to see him play with Wemby. Should we pay a king's ransom for him? Absolutely not. I don't think so. Does he help us win more immediately? Yes. But that doesn't fix our long-term problems. And I think it would just cause a little bit more and it would probably keep us mediocre and not being able to build off of draft picks if we did pay a lot to get Trae Young. People throwing out Luka Doncic's name out there, like, yeah, it would be awesome to have him on the team, but is it realistic of us getting him? Nah, I absolutely don't think so. So, we really shouldn't be focusing on these people that, we can't realistically get, and we shouldn't be willing to, pay and give up everything for one player, just for an immediate fix, because I know that the dedicated Spurs fans and the front office are looking at this team long term, and that's our main focus right now is long term. And yeah, the front office is trying to build that dynasty. I know they have their eyes out on a few players that we probably don't know about, but that's okay because like we've drafted players that nobody knew about, and look how it's worked out. Not saying we should do the exact same thing or that the exact same situation is going to happen, but I believe that look, front office has experience, history's on our side. Let's just trust the process, be more patient, because there are players out there that we do not know about that are perfect fits for this team, and I believe we're going to go get those. But I want to hold on to those draft picks, man. I really want to develop this team from the draft, just to be young, because like that's what all these other teams did. Let's look at the Warriors, the last dynasty. The Warriors, they developed through the draft. They lost a lot of games, Steph and Clay together, lost a lot of games before becoming a dynasty. And look how long the dynasty lasted, like for a long time. So they had to wait their turn like everybody else. And look, it paid off. So all we got to do is just be a little bit more patient. I mean, we were beating the Warriors, the Steph Clay Warriors, in the playoffs before they were the Dynasty Warriors, So like they went through growing pains, they went through tough losses. We put them in the ground before, and now we're just going through that. But the good thing is that we have our number one guy, we have our superstar, so we got the main piece to build around. Before we had him, we built a culture. We built a little bit of a culture through Trae, Keldon, Devin, Jeremy. And so keeping those core guys together, I think, is extremely important to maintain a Spurs culture, because these outside vets cannot bring like Spurs culture to the team. They don't know that. So we have a young group of guys who have built a new Spurs culture, a young, rejuvenated Spurs culture. And so bringing Wemby into the picture is great. And then bringing in vet guys and introducing them to the Spurs culture, that's like what needs to happen. Our young guys have created the Spurs culture. Then we bring in vets, incorporate them into our Spurs culture, and then boom, there's our dynasty team right there. So those are the moves that I think that we need to make on the roster thus far. Okay, fans, that's it for today's episode. Before I go though, I want to shout out to the Spurs Coyote, because We have the damn best mascot in the NBA. We've had him for many years. And we love you, Coyote. We love you. You do a great job. And you just coming out in the Batman suit to the old Batman theme song, catching the bat for us. We will never, as fans, get enough of that. So we love you forever. Continue to do what you do. Bring us that excitement. It was just a really, really funny bit last night. It was really, really funny. All right, that's it for today. Be sure to keep up with us on GSG Nation on X at GSG Nation Talk and on Instagram and TikTok at GSG Nation and GSG Nation on YouTube. All right, Spurs fans, enjoy your weekend. We will see you at the game at Frostbank Center for the next game on Monday. Catch you there. Go Spurs, go.